Hey guys, TechMan here with the video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to talk about the iPhone 8 Plus on iOS 16, the official version that was released. Now, the iPhone 8 Plus is the oldest model that you can actually download iOS 16 and run it. Unfortunately, anything older than that will not get iOS 16, and that's what makes this phone a little bit unique compared to the other phone, and that's why we're going to take a look at this phone. We're going to take a look about iOS 16, what you can expect if you're downloading iOS 16, some of the top features that you get on the iPhone 8 Plus on iOS 16, performance, battery, and any issues that we have experienced so far using iOS 16. We'll discuss all of that and much more in this video. So the iPhone 8 Plus, just a quick background on it, was actually released back in September of 2017 now. This phone is making 5 years, and generally we've seen with Apple devices, they get updated for about 5 years or so, although that we've seen some devices get 6 in the older model, but iOS 16 is supported on the 8 Plus and might be the last version that you get any major software update. Of course, you'll get security update and much more, but iOS 16 brings in a lot of new features to this iPhone here that's running the A11 Bionic chip with 3 gigs of RAM. So this is a 5.5-inch display. The 8 Plus seems to be a popular device for a lot of users because that iconic home button that exists, and you don't have to use Face ID. You can use Touch ID to do it, and there still seems to be some sort of pushback on some users not using Face ID, but the iPhone 8 Plus, again, a popular device of its time and still is a popular device that we've seen a lot of people use it. So some of the new features of iOS 16 that you notice here, you'll be able to customize the lock screen, which we'll show a little bit. We'll be able to edit text messages. You can reply later. You can do unread messages and much more going on, and then unsend messages as well. There's a feature to remove background, which we're not really sure if iPhone 8 Plus actually does support it or not. So far, it doesn't seem like it's supported. It might be a later version of it because it's the initial version of it. So the A11 devices might not be able to do that, and there's also ability to unsend the email as well. So those are some of the highlighted features. Of course, there's been a lot of updates to focus mode as well, and privacy and much more, which again, if you take a look at it, the first thing you'll probably have noticed is that when you press down, you can really start customizing these lock screen. As you can see, you can actually add multiple lock screen, do edits as your heart desires. You can change out text. It seems like a lot of focus was around being able to just do customization overall around the whole thing. There's been updates to notifications as well. As you'll notice here, we can now have a customized notification. Again, there has been updates like with everything else to make the phone, again, more user-friendly in the UI itself. Of course, we can go into deeper. As you can see, we'll be able to even do a lot more with texting. This is probably the reason why a lot of people will be downloading iOS 16, is that now you have that ability to, if you see a text, if I send a text here, for example, if I text someone, I can actually go ahead and actually do this send, as you can see, undo send, and you can really pretty much do a lot with that. As you can see, it's gone now. Now, what you can do as well is after you unsend it, you can actually edit messages as well here. So we'll do another one here. We'll go ahead and do this edit option. As again, we'll do the editing here and hit OK. As you can see here, we're able to edit it as well. It does tell you when something gets edited, but again, a feature that's available. You also notice another ability to do this, which again, I think in the past you weren't able to do that, but you can reply later by marking it. So for example, if you had the notification gone, but you didn't want to reply something later, you can just mark it so that it's showing as a notification. You can do it later. So those are other features. You also notice probably around focus mode. Again, a lot of changes has been around there, around focus mode itself. You can play around with it if you've been using it. Again, a lot of work around it because focus mode was just introduced. Again, sometimes it seems to be one of those features that again, we'll get more update in the future as well, but it is there. Along with those, all the updates that you got from iOS 15 are still available there, like the app widget, your app library. All of that doesn't go away from the screen itself, so you'll still have the ability to edit the widgets itself. You'll be able to hide pages and do all of that. So more customization, it seems to be the trend around with the newer iOS 16 update that we've seen. So those are kind of top things as well. So talking about performance on iOS 16, as you can see, we're browsing around, clicking around here. Performance wise, it seems like it's a little bit faster in some cases. It might be just because it was restarted. When you do a software update, the phone gets a restart. Maybe that's why it seems a little bit faster. But again, iOS 16 compared to iOS 15, again, not too much different in terms of slowing down, but it might be actually beneficial in terms of speeding up the device. Again, different users have reported different experiences. Again, it's a mixed review. Again, it's something that's still very brand new, so we're not really sure how long this speed will last, but it seems to be much faster than the previous version of iOS 15, which is definitely a good news considering that the iPhone 8 Plus, again, a popular device that you'll see across the board for a lot of users still using this device. In terms of using all the software so far, all the major applications, again, works fine there. We haven't experienced any issues with anything crashing or anything like that. Again, iOS 16 has been stable with applications. Again, sometimes we see when you update to a major version, some apps don't work or they're buggy. But as you can see, I'm opening a bunch of these apps just to show you that all of your popular app that most people have on their devices is working as it should. Again, when it comes to the iPhone 8 Plus, because it's a bigger size phone, it's really nice when it comes to watching like shows and stuff, which again, you can watch it as we saw. We opened up YouTube, Disney Plus, all of that. Even when it comes to gaming, again, a really good device because of the size. When it comes to playing gaming, of course, you want to avoid playing heavy graphic gaming because of the speed that you get. But as you'll notice here, on this game here, we can really do a lot with this device and much more going on. Now, let's talk about the battery life. So the battery life, again, is another thing we consider. So far, our usage since we downloaded, battery life seems to be about the same. We haven't noticed any difference in terms of the battery line. Again, battery itself could be different for your use cases. Again, what we've seen is it's been well so far. Of course, this battery here, as you can see, degraded, but still works pretty well for us. Again, sometimes when that service message comes up, it's not necessary that you have to replace the battery. It just indicates that, of course, it might be time to replace it or get it done for you. So you can kind of read about all of this when you do update it. One thing to note, if you're going to be doing the update, is that the size is going to take about 3 to 4 gigs. It says around 2.77 when we downloaded and installed it. We took a screenshot of it. But if you're looking to update, you can simply go into settings and then general software update, and you should see the update. We updated to iOS, as you can see, 16.0. But again, one thing we want to do, caution if you guys are thinking of upgrading, is the .0 version, the initial version, sometime isn't the best when it comes to older devices. And the reason why we say that is because once everybody starts using that public version 0.0, people start reporting bugs and issues, and then .1, .2, and all those other minor version comes out. That's where the real fixes are. So if you want to hold off, you can, but if you're a person that wants to start experimenting with the new features and really get hands-on, because of, like we mentioned, some features right around the lock screen and the ability to do some things with the text and focus mode and a couple other features that make iOS 16 worth it. For some users, you may consider downloading it. Again, it's up to you, but that's something we do want to mention and caution you about. So iOS 16, iPhone 8 Plus, our experience have been good so far. Again, like I said, I haven't personally experienced any issues to say that, don't download it, but do want to cautious about being the initial download. And because it is a 5-year-old device, it's going to be up to you. But we want to hear from you guys. If you guys have already updated to iOS 16 or thinking about upgrading, if you had any issues, leave a comment in the comment section so that everyone can see and can understand how iOS 16 is going for the iPhone 8 Plus. So thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.